Most people don't fail their day because they lack discipline. They fail because they never designed it. You probably plan your work, you schedule meetings, you set deadlines. But the structure of your actual day, the way hours connect to each other, the order things happen in, most people leave that to chance. Then they wonder why some days feel smooth and others feel like fighting through mud. What actually makes a day run smoothly? Not motivation, not willpower, mechanics. The way you build the container that holds your time, and it starts earlier than you think. Let's say you wake up at 7. You have 8 hours ahead before work ends. Most people treat that block as one long stretch. Wake up, start working, keep going until it's over. But your brain doesn't work in 8-hour blocks. It works in cycles. 90 minutes of high focus, then a drop. If you ignore that pattern, you're not fighting laziness. You're fighting biology. In practice, this looks like someone we'll call Mark, who works from home. He starts at 9. By 11, he notices he's rereading the same paragraph. By noon, he's scrolling. He thinks he's distracted. He's not. His focus window closed and he didn't notice. He's trying to push through a natural low. It doesn't work. It never works. When Mark learned this, he didn't add more discipline. He added a boundary, 90 minutes of work, 15-minute break, not because he's tired, because the system requires it. On the break, he doesn't scroll. He moves. He walks to another room. He looks out a window. The point isn't rest. It's reset. His brain gets a signal. This block is over. The next one is starting. That difference between pushing through and resetting is the difference between a day that drags and a day that flows. But here's where most people still mess it up. They structure their work. They don't structure the margins. The 5 minutes between meetings, the 20 minutes before lunch, the gap after a task ends and the next one starts. Those margins seem like nothing. They're not nothing. They're where your day falls apart. Because when you finish something and you don't know what's next, your brain does what it always does. It looks for easy stimulation. You check your phone. You open a tab. Suddenly 5 minutes becomes 20. Not because you're weak, because uncertainty creates friction and friction kills momentum. Mark used to finish a task and think, okay, what now? By the time he figured it out, 15 minutes were gone. Then he started writing the next step before finishing the current one. Last line of the task, what happens after this? Not the whole plan, just the next move. When the task ended, he didn't have to think. He already knew. This is the part people skip. They think structure is about the big blocks, the morning routine, the work session, the evening wind down. But a day doesn't run smoothly because the blocks are good. It runs smoothly because the transitions are clean. Transitions expose what you actually care about. If you say health matters but there's no space between work and dinner, you'll eat badly. If you say relationships matter but there's no margin after work ends, you'll show up to your partner exhausted. The gap isn't optional. The gap is where intention becomes real. Mark used to end work at 5 and immediately start cooking. Sounds efficient. It wasn't. He brought work stress into the kitchen. Dinner felt rushed. His partner felt it. He felt it. Then he added a 15-minute gap. He sat outside, did nothing. Just let the workday finish before the personal one started. 15 minutes. That's all it took for the evening to stop feeling like a continuation of work. People hear this and think it's about relaxation. It's not. It's about boundaries. Your brain needs a signal that one mode is ending and another is beginning. Without that signal, everything blurs. Work bleeds into rest. Rest feels like work. The day never actually flows because nothing ever actually ends. So the structure that makes a day work comes down to 3 things. First, work in 90-minute cycles with real breaks. Second, write the next step before finishing the current task. Third, build 15-minute gaps between modes. Work to personal, personal to rest, rest to sleep. That's it. No app, no system, just boundaries that protect the transitions. When your day runs smoothly, it's not because everything went perfectly. It's because the structure held. You knew what came next. You gave your brain the reset it needed. You didn't fight friction. You designed it out. Most people think a good day happens to them. It doesn't. You build it one boundary at a time until everything starts to run smoothly. If this clicked, subscribe. There's more like this coming.